What's going on, guys? Welcome back. More commentary for you tonight. Do me a favor, take a moment, hit that like button, subscribe button, criticism in the comment section, Twitter, Shutdown Safety is my username. Be on the lookout. If it's not up already by the time you watch this, I've got a great comparison with All Pro Football 2K8, Madden 16 coming up, so be on the lookout for that. But Jimmy Graham today left the Steelers-Seahawks game in a knee cast. Obviously, serious knee injury as it appeared, fell awkwardly, instantly held his knee. And I wanted to kind of revisit this because I'd done a video on this when he got traded initially. And, early in September, there were some reports that he wasn't happy with his role. The first 2 weeks of the season, I think we saw the fear that he was going to become more of a blocker in the Seahawks scheme coming to fruition. He had a great game, though, week 3, I believe, against the Bears. Broke out, had a touchdown, over 80 yards. And then he really hadn't done much since in terms of, headlining an offense. Except in week 6, I think he had, maybe 140 yards, 8 or 10 catches. To me, though, the damage is obviously, while he wasn't the focal point of that offense, he really seemed to be controlling the defense's logic. A lot of teams were game planning around him not being what he was in New Orleans. And make no mistake about it, I think we all knew that he wasn't coming to Seattle in that offense with Marshawn Lynch, with, fairly fast receivers, and all of a sudden, be the dominant single show force that he was in New Orleans. There's a lot of factors that attribute to that. Obviously, Russell Wilson isn't Drew Brees. They're not playing in a dome anymore. A lot of things factor into why he wasn't putting up the numbers that he was before. Although for a short time he was on pace, I believe, with yards to be, fairly well along with what he'd done last season. But I think we all know that he wasn't going to get the type of production that he was in New Orleans. If he is done for the year, which again right now is speculation, but looks likely, I think it's really going to show in terms of Russell Wilson's playmaking ability. I think most damaging in this is the fact that Marshawn Lynch had been out. You could really see Jimmy Graham becoming more prevalent in the offense now. And now when you take a look at a team that's lost their best running back, that's lost their best tight end, one of the best tight ends in the league, in my opinion, still, despite the production issues, I think that's obviously going to impact them a number of ways. I will say, though, for what it's worth, I think a lot of the Saints' struggles this year comes back to not having Jimmy Graham. If you look at the value of what he brought to the Seahawks, maybe not being the same, but look at what the Saints have now without him. They've really struggled. And of course, he wasn't their main component or their key piece. I guess you could say on offense, he was one of the key pieces. He obviously wasn't going to be a make or break component to any football team, to be quite honest with you. But I think the Saints really miss him a lot more than perhaps the Seahawks will. But it is troubling to see such a great player go down. I'd love to know your opinions on it. Appreciate you checking out this video. And of course, I'll be back, well, very shortly, as I told you, with more content.